Hi everyone, welcome to the closing ceremony of Euphoria 1.0. Uh, I hope you are doing well and staying at home. So today's closing ceremony, we have a very special guest, Bhushita Ahuja, who is an author who have won many awards like Best Debut Author 2021, Youth Inspirational Award, Story of the Year Award, and many more can be added to the list. She's also the co-founder of Samvedna Chess. And not to end here, she is also a YouTuber and a motivational speaker. Welcome, Bhushita. Welcome to the closing ceremony of
Thank
Euphoria
you so
1.0.
much. Thank you.
Yeah. So today Bhushita is gonna take a session on social entrepreneurship. Once the session is over, then we are gonna announce the results of the two competitions that were held under Euphoria, that were Bee Snoop and Shoot Tail. So over to you, Bhushita.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. I am Bhushita Ahuja, and I run this foundation called Samvedna since the past 1.5 years. And I really hope to share my insights based on my experience and journey in this field of social entrepreneurship. So, can we move on to the next slide? Thank you. First of all, let us define who is a social entrepreneur and what exactly does this word mean? A social entrepreneur is a person who tries to solve a social problem using entrepreneurial skills. Next slide. A lot of times, what we are confused about is, does social entrepreneurship mean you have to work on a non profit organization? No, not at all. You can make it a non-monetary one, but you can very well choose to garner profits from it till the time you are creating a significant impact in the society. So you must have heard of Muhammad Yunus. Let's go on to the next slide. He is the Nobel Peace Prize winner from Bangladesh who invented microcredit and changed the lives of millions of rural people who started borrowing finance without any collateral. His work is the best example of social entrepreneurship. He believes that making money is happiness, and that is a great incentive. Making other people happy is super happiness. He also shares the benefits that outweigh a generic business. Engaging in a social business is beneficial to a company because it leverages on business competencies to address social issues, involves one time investment with sustainable results, and produces other positive effects such as employee motivation and improved organizational structure and culture. Let's go on to the next slide. Well, sustainable development, which is essentially the idea that human societies must live and meet their needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own, is an important practice because it not only saves national budget but fills the needs of people and conserves natural resources as well. A business, therefore, supporting this model naturally has a better image among the consumers. Let's go on to the next slide. I thought during the course of my speech, I could also throw some light on this recent economic model coined down by Miss Kate Raworth, also known as the donut economic model. As interesting as this term sounds, you must be wondering how this has got anything to do with social entrepreneurship. Essentially, it is a visual framework for sustainable development shaped like a donut, combining concepts of planetary boundaries and social foundations, as you can see. The center portion of the model represents the portion of the population that lacks essential resources such as healthcare, education, food, etc., while the crust depicts ecological ceilings that shouldn't be shot, such as chemical pollution, deforestation, land conversion, etc. An economy that keeps balance between the two is said to be performing well. The point of discussing this model is that as we are progressing, the aim of economic activity, as we can see, has gradually shifted from pure monetary objectives to considering social problems to measure the performance of an economy. Through this, I hope you not only better understood the concept of sustainability, but also the growing importance of addressing and tackling social issues. Essentially, there are three types of social. There are three types of social enterprises that exist, and you can find more about this in the book "The Power of Unreasonable People: How Social Entrepreneurs Create Markets That Change the World" by John Ellington and Pamela Hartingen. I would request you to hear this carefully because I have a question in my speech later on which is connected to this. So, the first type of social enterprise is a leveraged non-profit. This is a non-profit where the organization is dependent on philanthropic activity and other types of funding to stay sustainable, and profits are not what they aim for. Second type is called hybrid non-profit ventures, where you can see cost recovery happening through the sale of goods and services. Entrepreneurs here are not dependent on external funding and they find other streams of revenue to cover up the costs and stay sustainable. The third type is called a social business venture, and these are for profit entities that provide a social or ecological product or service. Financial profits are an underlying goal, but the focus still remains on creating a significant social impact. Here, however, entrepreneurs do get a return on their effort and involvement. So now let me tell you about the way that Samvedna functions and let us see if you can guess what category this foundation falls under. So let's go on to the next slide now. Yeah, so a little background as to why I started this organization with my brother. We both are international chess players and we've been playing the sport since the past 9 years. I was 7 when I actually started playing chess, and we have really been very, very passionate about this game, and it has been an integral part of our lives. We've represented the country on several occasions. I have won the state championship. My brother has been a Commonwealth medalist. And as you must have realized by now, chess has been like, inseparable with us. And that's why we actually started Samvedna Foundation around 1.5 years ago. And we decided that we were going to teach chess to the underprivileged kids and foster their interest towards the game. We wanted to provide them with opportunities to grow so that one day they could also become future grandmasters of India. Currently, we are teaching 350 plus underprivileged kids from across 7 states in India. Now, let me talk about the way we function and get funds to actually carry out these classes. For every project requires financial backing, and to teach kids chess also for free, we had to consider the costs for chess boards, chess books, fees of coaches, etc., and make sure that simultaneously we weren't going to go for a loss. So we organized a tournament in 2019 December wherein approximately 250 plus players took part. We collected entry fees from them, made profits in this event, and invested all this back into our social cause, not keeping a fixed amount for ourselves. Same way we organized online tournaments and workshops with entry fees during the lockdown to stay sustainable. Now I would like all of you to guess which type of social enterprise does Samvedna come under? Is it a leveraged non-profit, a hybrid non-profit, a social business venture? Well, Samvedna is a hybrid nonprofit. We are not depending on sponsors or philanthropists. We are generating our own revenue through tournament entry fees. Moreover, all our profits are pulled back in and we don't take a percentage out of them. And therefore, it rightly fits under this category. Let me share some key takeaways from my experience running this foundation. Firstly, I learned that one has to embrace their fears and be open to failures. If you do fall down, you must not stay fallen. In order to get up again, you must have the spirit to think of new strategies. For instance, when we were organizing the chess tournament, we were expecting around 50 entries in the first week of marketing. And to our shock, we didn't get a single registration after 7 days of, marketing. So we were in this scenario, we were, really disappointed. We didn't know what to do and we were almost about to call off the event. And it because obviously it's not worth it to organize such a big event, put in so many costs into it, and you don't even get people who are interested to come and play. But we decided that before we take such a decision, we should give it one last shot, because see, the results are never in your hands. You don't know whether whatever you are going to do will achieve may help you achieve what you actually desire. But the one thing that you can actually do is put in your 100%, and just keep working hard. We didn't want to feel like we didn't try our best, and that's why we said we will give it our one last shot. Then we took it upon ourselves and called parents personally to ask them to register their kids. And our efforts paid off, and we got 250 players who eventually took part in our tournament. Second strategy is that you shouldn't limit yourself. You should think big. Your dreams should be ambitious. At first, we thought we will just organize classes in Delhi NCR with 10 to 20 students who were interested. But that was also not a very sustainable method of approaching Samvedna, because as you can see in this picture, this is how we actually started with our classes. This over here, right here, is a slum in Delhi, and we went there and we invited one of the coaches to come with that chessboard that you can see, the display board. And the coach taught the kids chess. But as you can see, not a lot of kids showed up. There were only like around 10, 12 kids who came. And for a coach to come all the way from one destination in Delhi to another and teach the kids, and such less audience comes to actually benefit from the classes, it's not very sustainable. Of course, when you're inviting a coach to come physically and teach you, that also increases the costs by a great margin. So we were like, we were not sure how long term this was, this whole method of teaching kids physically. And that is and just we were just situated in two slum areas of Delhi. So that's, we weren't thinking big at that time. But when the pandemic struck, then we actually realized the number of possibilities we had when things got online. We were able to expand ourselves to 7 states in India teaching online chess. We hope to further expand out of India as well. Not only this, but we can even experiment with a different target population, such as senior citizens, for example. So like this we wouldn't have realized if we didn't try to turn, change our whole system and turn things online. But we realized that everything happens for a reason, and when we don't back down or give up, then we can actually make the most out of what we have. And so of course having big plans is great, and you should be very very ambitious in order to achieve a lot and scale up. But you can't always stay in a dream world. This brings me to my third point, and that is that when you're putting efforts, don't leave any stones unturned. When I was looking for coaches who could teach chess to the underprivileged kids, then I first messaged around 20 coaches who I knew on LinkedIn, and I got only one of them who volunteered to actually teach, and others were they wanted a financial incentive. And at the moment we were looking for more of a more of coaches who could actually teach without of asking for a fee. So that's why that's but we really wanted to scale up, and one coach couldn't really teach a lot of kids. So I literally messaged all the coaches that I could find on LinkedIn, each and every single one, following the strategy of cold mailing. And of course, this sounds crazy that you are like literally messaging every single person out there, but I feel entrepreneurship is about this little bit of craziness, which is actually very, very healthy for your business. So, if I talk about social entrepreneurship in general and compare it to generic forms of business, the major difference that you will see is in the intent and purpose of entrepreneurs. While commercial companies, they are strictly working for a return on their investment, social entrepreneurs are driven by the notion to create change, impact lives, and contribute to the welfare of the society. I myself am driven by this famous Hindi doha, which is बड़ा हुआ तो क्या हुआ जैसे पेड़ खजूर पंथी को छाया नहीं फल लागे अति दूर. What is the point of growing up as tall as the khajur tree if you can't even provide shade to a single human? We humans are social animals and codependent on each other. It is our duty to give back to the society, not for materialistic gains, but for the simple reason that helping others brings self satisfaction, which I'd say is the purest form of happiness. We look for joy all around us. And our desires are unlimited, and happiness derived from outside is in fact short lived. Permanent state of happiness occurs when you get joy from within yourself and independent of any other factors. And that is why starting Samvedna, I didn't start Samvedna because of any ulterior motives. I wanted to give back to the game that had made me who I am today. And, putting in these efforts and all that didn't provide us financial gain, but it provided us so much more. It provided us a purpose, something we were working towards, and a change that we were creating in the society. And when you actually create a change and you impact people's lives and you bring a smile on someone's face, then that is the best gift that you can get in return, which is much more than any kind of profits. So, if you want to start a enterprise of your own, work on a social issue that is very close to your heart, something that you are deeply passionate about, something that will motivate you and drive you to give in your best. You can work in any sector: healthcare, women empowerment, environment, child labor, etc. I chose underprivileged empowerment through sports because that is what was my passion. And of course, when you do something in which you know the field, then that is even better. Because say that I took up something of which I had no idea at all, like something like related to say sustainable fashion. I am not very aware of what happens in the fashion world, or say how clothing line works, so that would no, not be an advantage for me. But being a chess player myself, I know what happens in chess. I know about the the inside out of how we can plan tournaments, of how we can organize classes, of what exactly is required. Because you, when you are a part of a field for so many years, then you not only have connections, say, with coaches and chess fraternity members, but you also know that chess tournament, if you want to organize a tournament, then you need say this much amount. What all resources do you need? How, what kind of price, entry fees you need to charge? What kind of prizes will incentivize the players? So these intricate things which really help you to turn your business venture into a success. So number one is your experience or background that can really help you in choosing what social enterprise you want to start. And other than that, of course, your passion is what really matters. Because today, if you start something that you are not passionate about, then you will not want to continue doing it in long term. You might get bored. But when you really want to create a change, and you're self driven, and when you're self driven, then no one has to tell you to do something. You do it on your own, and when it comes from inside, then of course your business venture, your social enterprise, it really really excels. So let's go on to the next slide. Let me share a few examples with you of successful social enterprises so that you have a better idea. So, Ashoka Innovators of for the Public was founded in 1981 by Bill Drayton, and this particular venture takes a multifaceted approach to finding and supporting social entrepreneurs globally. Black Mykowski is known as the founder of Tom's Shoes, and he is credited for investing $300,000 of personal funds into the company. Tom's pledged to donate one pair of shoes for every one pair that is sold. So, like if I go and buy a shoe from Tom's, then they donate one shoe to someone from the rural community. So, of course, now you would be just thinking that what is the point of this? Why would Tom's want to do this? Um, what's the need for doing something like that? You could just sell your shoes and make money. Why donate one shoe and make such a ambitious pledge? Well, that is because social, firstly, of course, there are personal reasons for doing everything of the founder, and why he wants to do that. But as a business organization also, when you are into social entrepreneurship, when you're giving back to the community, then your image is really really propelled, and the world knows you because of that. And this positive image can actually bring you so many profits that you can't even imagine. So Tom's actually became famous because of these kind of strategies that they followed, and that is what really improved their brand image by to such an extent. So let's go on to the next slide. I've spoken quite a bit about social entrepreneurship, but there are a few key takings that you all must remember that are common to all businesses alike. Because social entrepreneurship is also like, it's a form of entrepreneurship. I feel that entrepreneurship is about thinking creatively, coming up with out of the box solutions. And by out of the box solutions, it's like you are in a very competitive market, and you are in a very competitive atmosphere where everyone is doing something or the other, and you will always find competition. But what is it that you do differently that will actually make you stand out? For instance, if I look at chess tournaments itself, then there are hundreds and thousands of chess tournaments that are being organized across the world. What makes our chess tournaments different? Why would people want to participate in our chess tournaments? Is because we are doing it, number one, for a social cause, and number two, our social cause itself is very unique. Because Nobody's organizing tournaments to, get profits to teach underprivileged kids the same game and basically inculcate a sporting culture. So that way, we are also, we are doing something that everyone else is also doing, something like organizing a tournament or teaching someone. But what we are doing in that is very different, and that is what makes us stand out. It's about dreaming big and being ambitious, as I said before, and yet practical at the same time. Because if I today say that, I want to organize a tournament 2 months later, and I really want to get thousands of 1,000 players, I am saying this, but there's no value to what I'm saying because I don't have a strategy or a plan of action that will actually get me those 1,000 kids. So you have to be, you have to think of what is possible also, but at the same time, think ambitiously also, and put in those efforts to turn that dream into reality. And whatever you do, you must set short term and long term goals for your organization because they will motivate you to achieve higher and create a larger impact. So, if I talk about Samvedna, then my short term goals would be to, have the classes weekly with the maximum possible attendance. And my long term goals would be that, after so and so months, I will organize a tournament, or after so and so months, I'll expand to a different target market. So, those are my long term goals. Every business has a business plan, and that business plan is very, very important and crucial because you are that business plan gives you a purpose and direction. You know what way to go, and you know what all objectives you are supposed to achieve. So having that is very important. Finally, stay committed, and give in your 100% and don't give up. At the end, that I would like to say that an entrepreneur is someone who jumps off a cliff and builds a play on the way down. Even in these tough times of COVID-19, social entrepreneurship is one such field that has constantly been growing. The thing with entrepreneurs is that they don't view problems as obstacles or roadblocks. For them, every problem is an opportunity that can be solved using creativity and innovative thinking and turned into a successful business idea. Imagine an aquarium where all the fishes resemble entrepreneurs. When you throw in bread, don't you see that, when you go to an aquarium and you just put in the bread, then all the fishes instantly come around that bread to grab a bite. Even if the fishes are all around the aquarium and you put it in, just throw it in, then everyone from everywhere will just start they will instantly leave whatever they are doing and come to the direction of the bread to take that bite. Well, similarly, when there is an emergence of an issue, then entrepreneurs too think on their feet to be the first solution providers. And this sort of competitive atmosphere actually, it really aids in quick resolution amid times of crisis. So entrepreneurs are those fishes, and that bread, symbolizing that bread to be a problem. And when in the entrepreneurial world there is a crisis or an issue, then entrepreneurs take it as an opportunity to actually solve that issue, and they increase their business and enhance the performance of the business. So let's look at the pandemic only. The pandemic is obviously a challenge, right, that occurred in the entrepreneurial world. So yeah, so kudos to our social entrepreneurs who are, brave corona warriors, that the poor have got their daily meals. Face shields and PP kits have been distributed so widely, and the unemployed have gotten alternative jobs. For instance, Malaysia's social enterprise, The Hive Bulk Foods realized that during lockdown, online food ordering has significantly surged, and as a result of that, plastic waste has also really mounted. They took this as an opportunity to collect this packaging waste and provide it to corporates who would then reuse it for their own purposes. So this is just an innovative thinking. You notice that there is a surge in plastic packaging, and then you see that where can I actually use this and actually turn it into a business opportunity for me. And this kind of innovative business thinking, this kind of a reshaping of a business model is what social entrepreneurs really do. And the point that I'm trying to make is that social entrepreneurs, they just need a problem to get started, and the opportunities, they are endless. It's like a limitless ocean that is full of options that you can experiment. During these unpredictable times, we humans have realized how interdependent we are on each other and the importance of being a support system for one another. This has really been a realization for everyone because people are getting ill. They need support, healthcare support. During these times when we are in a lockdown, we are not really, connected with anyone. So we really need the our online, everyone to connect with us online so that we feel like we are still connected with the outer world. So everyone is quite interdependent, and we have obviously realized that it's important to be help each other in these times. So in this situation, even traditional making corporates have realized that we should rethink our marketing strategies and become socially active to improve our market standing. And this is because when you are giving back to the society, then you're obviously you're you're creating a very positive image of your own brand, and that really attracts customers. And lastly, I'd like to quote Richard Branson. And he said that if you're making a difference in other people's lives, you shouldn't be in a business. It's that simple. And let's go on to the last slide. Yeah, so with this, a big thank you to everyone present in the audience, and especially team in your team and Enactus Gemtech. It's really, you've put in so much effort to organize this, and it's really been my pleasure to be here and speak to all of you today. Thank you so much, and I'll be very happy to answer any questions.
Yep. So thank you so much, Kashagito, for Bhushita, for having this particular session with us, and we are really honored to have you. So
Thank
anyway, yeah. So we already have our first question in. So the question is about Earth wanted to ask that he wanted to know that was it only you who was the most motivated in your team and an asset with moving forward, or did you had more people who were actually in for this plan?
Right. So I think the main people in my organization were me and my brother because we both were co-founders, and rest we had coaches and all, but they were not a part of the core team. They were just as helping us, supporting us from the backhand. So I think at times we need to really motivate our counterparts to actually put in efforts and realize what we are exactly doing. So there was a point in time that my brother wasn't as motivated as I was. He didn't realize that what exactly we are doing at the present moment and what kind of a change this is actually creating. But I could see that transformation in him. I used to give him reports daily, for some while I just left him, and I put in all the efforts that I wanted to. And for a while he was just observing what I was doing, and afterwards he realized that no, this is actually something that I should do, I should also work towards. And gradually he realized that he got motivated to work hard on Samvedna, and then we were then equally.
Yeah, we are back in. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, Bhushita, you can continue.
Yeah, so I answered the question.
Okay. So actually, he was continuing this question with the considering the fact there are less people who are actually interested in giving back to the society when it comes to things like these initiatives. So, like, what are your thoughts on how anyone can really like make people motivated towards these initiatives?
Right, right. So I feel that if you want to motivate people to try out social entrepreneurship to give back to the society, then I think the best way is to get experiential learning, experiential insights. Because unless you try to try something on your own, then you won't realize the importance of it, or realize what it is actually about. Like if I right now sit at home and I am talking about the underprivileged community, I wouldn't be able to talk, give you a lot of insights because I have no experience. But if I actually visit, say, the slum areas, I see what kind of lifestyles the students are following, what kind of problems they are actually facing, then I will be motivated to actually support them. So for Samvedna also, targeting the underprivileged, that actually came to me because my mom is a social worker, and she took me to with her to the slum areas a lot of times when I was very young. And I actually played a game of chess with the students when I was like around 9 or 10 years old. So that experience really was something that stayed with me. And I decided that I wanted to give this chess education to them only, because when I played with them in that age of 9 10 years, then I could see the enthusiasm that they had. Like I was sitting playing with one girl, and there were around 10 15 people who came together to see the game, observe the game, and it was a very very enlightening experience for me. So if you really want to motivate someone to look at social entrepreneurship, then taking them to that place where you want them to work or see, making them interact with the people who you want to impact, that is going to really change things.
Okay, got it. So there is one more question. That is, how has being an entrepreneur affected your family life, or it didn't? Like someone wanted to know that.
Okay, so basically, like, the question is, if I'm not wrong, that how have, like, can you repeat the question again? I didn't exactly get what
Okay,
the question.
so like you are an entrepreneur. So how has that affected your family life, or has it not?
Okay, okay, perfect. Got it. So there are two aspects to me. One is, of course, I can talk about family life and how this has impacted that. And secondly, I'll also talk about student life,
Mhm.
because I am a student right now, currently in 12th grade. So, of course, indulging myself in a proper social enterprise takes a lot of time, and it really impacts your student life. So, family life, honestly speaking, it's been a great addition to my conversations with my family members, because we really come from a business background. So everyone talks business in the family,
Mm.
and now even we have something to add on to their conversations. We also talk about Samvedna and what all strategies we plan. So it's actually been very fun doing that. But if I talk about student life, then I've it's very interesting actually that I was in 10th grade, and when I start, organize the Samvedna tournament, and I actually did it 3 months before my boards. And students in my age, they were like obviously into their books and all. But I, regardless of that, I mean, I did it because I was really, it was just something that I couldn't stop myself from doing. It was in my heart. I wanted to do it. So, yeah, of course, when you are calling people for, say, calling them to make them register and putting in so many efforts, you are cold mailing people here and there, you are messaging coaches, all of that, that takes a lot of time.
Hmm.
And when you're in high school in 11th or 12th grade, you need a lot of time to put into your academics. I'm an IB student, so I also have a lot of study
Yep.
pressure. But या बट आई थिंक दैट कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है.
Agree.
ये नहीं कह रही कि यू मतलब एजुकेशन को कॉम्पनसेट बिल्कुल
Hmm.
नहीं करना. बट आई ऑफ कोर्स आई लाइक like watching Netflix and just say partying and all those leisure activities. I had to control that for a period of time so that I could focus on academics and
Hmm.
Samvedna. And I tried to create a structure in, like, I tried to create the working system in a such a way that I didn't have to put in that much also time, क्योंकि मैंने classes I did those in over the weekends. So during the school days I would focus on academics, and weekends I would give 2-3 hours to the online classes that happened. So that way I was able to manage everything. And I think you need to focus on your priorities
Hmm.
and make a list of, say, what is urgent, important, what is both urgent and important. And if you prioritize what you want to do, then you will really be able to manage everything with your business.
I agree that prioritization is the key. Okay.
Yes.
So moving on, there is one last question, that is, what entrepreneur tricks you discovered to keep you focused and productive in your day-to-day busy schedule?
Right, got it. So, entrepreneurial tricks.
Hmm.
I'd say that one of the major entrepreneurial tricks that I learned was communication.
Hmm.
That is a very very key entrepreneurial strategy, because if you don't communicate well with your customers, with your consumers, then you will not be able to go a long way. So during my Samvedna, the whole tournament planning and everything, we used to call coaches, we used to call sponsors, we used to call parents, and we literally had to call a lot of people. We had to pick their calls, understand what problems they had, we had to resolve those. Even during online tournaments, when you're making people play online chess, then there are a lot of technical issues that the kids face on their end, and they have to inform us. So we have to be open to taking calls, communicating effectively, and everything. So that is one skill that I've really learned, and it has increased my confidence. And today, that the fact that I'm a motivational speaker and I'm able to speak so confidently in front of audiences, that is kudos to the entrepreneurial skill of communication that I learned. And another skill that I really learned is I'd say like being very ambitious and hardworking and goal oriented. So when you're in a business scenario, then you have to act upon your goals,
Hmm.
because you can't just do anything anywhere. And even in chess, I'd say it's chess, entrepreneurship, life, everything is so connected to each other. In chess you can't make a move essay, because every move has to have a reason behind it,
Right.
because if you make a wrong move, then you lose the game.
Okay.
Similarly, in entrepreneurship, whatever you are doing, whatever step you are taking, you need to have a reason to take that step. And you need to have a strategy in mind. You need to have goals that you are constantly working towards. And that's why in life also I realized in my day to day schedules that when I'm getting up in the morning, then I cannot live my day without having a goal in mind, just loitering around. I need to get up, have a vision for what I want to achieve during the day, so that when I'm going back to sleep at night, then I am feeling empowered, I'm feeling satisfied with how my day has been.
Agree, agree. So that was a really great session.
Thank
So thank you so much, Bushita, for coming over and like pouring your knowledge which you have learned in past few years about social entrepreneurship. So moving on, the last part of this closing ceremony is about the result announcement. So I will just share my screen and also request Bushita to announce the results. Yep.
Of
So
course.
yeah, Bushita, you can.
Okay, so first of all, congratulations to all of everyone who participated, and let's go on to the winners of the B Snoop event. And the first rank goes to Enactus Hindu and Enactus Aryabhatta, which tied with a score of which tied, and the score was 113.5. Big congratulations to you.
Congratulations, guys.
And the second rank goes to Team Amigo with a score of 135.
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
team Amigo. Congratulations, guys. Yeah,
And here are the winners of Shot a Tail event. And the second rank goes to Ashika. Huge
huge
congratulations.
congratulations, guys.
And the first rank goes to Anushka.
Congratulations, everyone, whoever won in their particular events. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. And thank you so much, Bhushita, for announcing the winners.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So I just wanted to have a thank you note. So thank you so much, Bhushita, for coming in, and thank you so much for everyone whosoever participated in Euphoria 1.0. And Bhushita, anything that you wanna end your session with?
So it was really, really wonderful. I had a great time speaking to all of you and truly feeling very blessed. Once again, thank you so much. And I really hope I could motivate some of you today.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bhushita. Okay, guys. Bye. Take care and stay safe at home.
Bye.